It is 9 a.m. here in Los Angeles. Tuesday, July 15th, 2025 AD. Today's the 15th. Thursday, first Thursday of the month, is the 17th of July. The Women's Forum, ladies. It's the third Thursday of the month. And it's my birthday. Cool. I get to work on my birthday. And what's up, Walking Roscoe, Krabby Turtle, Stan, Cloud Bops, and the rest of the guys? The Lord Bibby 42, of course, number one purple crown on the chat or whatever. I'm live on multiple platforms. Destin, Cross, Goethe. I don't want to say the rest of your name. I feel like it might be a phonetic spelling for something bad. But you're over there, you guys. I see you over there on the Rumble crew. We're going to have a fun loosey-goosey The Hake Report. We'll take your calls. If you'd like to call in, you are welcome to call in, agree or disagree, talk about Epstein, Schmepstein, or whatever. The ball earth, flat earth, the obvious spinning globe, or space denial. Yesterday I played for you that suno, suno.com/James Anton Hake. Remember this? Let me disclaim my entire show, because I do not claim my show. The views expressed on the Hake Report do not represent the views of Hake. I don't represent myself. I don't represent Bond. I don't represent JLP. I don't represent whatever. And you guys definitely don't represent me. You guys who call in and talk your mess. And I'm like, right. Trump once said, right, to some guy saying, of course, Obama is a Muslim. I want to know how we're going to get rid of these Muslims. Of course, our current president, Obama, is one. And Trump is like, right. But he didn't mean that. But the media is all hyper-focused on what people say. Words are more important than reality. Typical liberalism. And you, Epstein, Trump promised. No, he didn't. You Epstein people. This is a helicopter landing pad, I guess. I wonder if I'm not supposed to be there, so I left. Beautiful San Onofre, California. How am I gonna stop this? Let me see. Okay, yeah, so suno.com/James Anton, Anton, Hake. Or Anton, if you pronounce it like my great-grandpa pronounced it. Anton. But anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna have to shut that off. Oh, we'll get to your calls, we'll get to your super chats, guys. Am I getting drowned out by the music? I don't know, I can't tell. Yeah, chill out. I'm live on BitChute, of all places. Shout out to BitChute for creating live streaming. Finally, so cool. Live on Facebook and X and other places. I can't see when this is gonna go away. Let me move myself up. I feel like it's gonna start with some other track. Very nice. Let me go back here a little bit, because I feel like I made you guys miss something. But anyway, guys, this show is for entertainment and general information only. Happy White History Month. We love white people if we love anybody. And you should too if you love anybody. So let's just get right on with the... Oh, let me get that out of the way. Show!
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, how you guys doing? I am fine. I am indeed wearing another large today. Another large t-shirt. And I think it's whatever. All thoughts are all lies all the time about everything. There was one guy who's a faithful listener and I think a supporter who requested an alternative design to this. Looks great on black too, but I got the blue version. Yeah, it's a little... Well, I won't point that out. You guys can see for yourselves. Let me show you on JesseLeePeterson.shop. You can get your Punchy's coffee. You can still get your July Just Feels White or White History Month t-shirts. But if you view more on the shirts design, there's a couple of different versions of this t-shirt. One is the tri-blend. I prefer not the tri-blend because tri-blend indicates that it does have, like, it includes polyester, and I don't prefer polyester. I prefer 100% cotton. It doesn't stink as quickly, and it's not as hot because I heat up and sweat very easily. TSA may double check me if I sweat too profusely because it may trigger their alarms. But they have different colors of the t-shirt. I'm not sure if it has the color that I selected because I got it in the early days when this was first offered. Let's see. And by the way, the supposed cotton t-shirts, if it has heather, it has polyester most of the time, I believe. So watch out for those heathered t-shirts. The heathered being where it looks a little bit splotchy. So just FYI, some of you guys may not be aware, but solid colors are not guaranteed to be cotton either. Solid colors can also have polyester in them. I have learned. If you're picky, like Hake is picky about your materials, it's good to know this stuff, I think. But that's a nice color of a gray, light gray. Not sure. Anyway, so ice gray is probably 100% cotton. Nice. Sweet. I wonder if I scrolled all the way down. Yeah, you can see. Sweet. Unisex soft style t-shirt. Very nice. 100% ring spun cotton, but, except fabric blends, heather colors, 35% cotton, 65% polyester. Sport gray and antique colors are 90% cotton, 10% polyester. And graphite heather is 50% cotton, 50% polyester. So you can read the fine print there. Right there on JesseLeePeterson.shop. Okay? And shipping is pretty good, and it's Printify. It's not a Teespring. Teespring was being unreliable. Now, many people have migrated their stuff away from Teespring. And I have too, and others have as well. But they may be getting their stuff back together, so I don't know. I have both of my t-shirt shops linked from my site if you look closely enough. FYI. I want to read a few super chats, guys. Before we get started here, Lin Yan Chin says he's not my friend. Your cognitive impairment is too vast. There is no cultivating any mouth breather attention. It isn't worth the suffering, says Lin Yan Chin. To answer your delusion from last week, men do not have friends. We are not friends, says Lin Yan Chin. Is he calling me a man, or is he calling himself a man? Or are we both men? We are not friends, says Lin Yan Chin. Wow. My attachment to the emotional term friends. I mean, even Jesus, now, not that dumb, evil, corrupt, degenerate TV show. I never watched it. That guy overdosed on ketamine, possibly supplied by my acquaintance from high school, by the way, Salvador Plasencia. Not to be confused with another Salvador Plasencia. There are many. But, Jesus, I have called you friends. But what did he mean? Let's find out. This is the NIV. John 15:15. I no longer call you servants. I remember this because of your friend and mine, CJ, who is a Paul denier. Paul said we are slaves of Christ, but Jesus said, you're not slaves. A servant does not know his master's business. Instead, I've called you friends. For everything I've learned from my Father, I have made known to you. Now, that was John 15:15. That's the NIV liberal version. Let's see if I can find the King James version. The based alpha Jew hater preferred shout out. Why does it say, herein is my Father glorified, that ye bear much fruit, so ye shall be my disciples. Okay, hold on. Yes, even the King James says, ye are my friends. Now, friends was not such a liberal word back in the King James days, perhaps. Greater love hath no man than this, that that a man lay down his life for his friends. All these people said, oh, I would die for you. And then they disavowed him. They're like, I disavow. Jesus? Pfft, who's that? I disavow. Jesus who? I don't know the man. And then the rooster crowed. I don't want to say the other word for rooster. Henceforth I call you not servants, but I have called you friends. But Lin Yan Chin is probably not a King James version only type of a guy. And he probably doesn't mean it that way. So, right on, Lin Yan Chin. Thank you for the clarification. Pardon my delusion. Carver bought a coffee on buymeacoffee.com/The Hake Report. Hey, Hake, once again, the ugly head of temptation and treachery has reared up to turn the weak-willed and low IQ against our greatest president. Indeed, man. I'm with you. Totally. These people. This time it's in the form of Epstein. Epstein. The angle is so-called caring about children or the country. Accountability. I heard this word accountability so much. This is not Carver talking. This is Hake interrupting Carver's thing. Oh, it's about accountability. Give me a break. You don't even know what you're talking about. This is complete bogus speech, says, which is long for BS. BS means bogus speech, but don't say BS, kids. Say bogus speech if you want. Maxwell wasn't bonking girls over the head and tossing them into a potato sack, as the snakes may have you believe. The reality is Epstein's quote-unquote victims were like-minded young ladies, we use the term loosely perhaps, who willingly chose to pursue a lavish party lifestyle on a tropical island, claims Carver. The real threat to children is the trafficking done in the millions across our borders, which Trump is the only one making a real effort to stop. Indeed. Betraying him opens the border, not to mention abortion and the trans agendas, even if any of the propaganda rumors about Epstein, I guess, are true, the result of treachery is far worse. It's better to be a loyal man who turned out to be wrong than a traitor who at best may have guessed partially correctly. Indeed, Carver, that's right. I don't even discount that some of what they claim may be true, but a lot of what they claim is total speculation. They don't know. They are judgmental. They are crazy. I saw some claims. I wonder if I screenshot any of them because they were just ridiculous claims. I may not have them. I don't think I do. But at least not handy. At least not handy. But the claims that they say are just ridiculous. Because they don't know what they're talking about. They're shrill. They're caught up. And if you judge the way that Lin Yan Chin judge based on the energy of the people, they're excitable. They're excited. They're not sensible. They're not in their senses. They're senseless. Those who are going crazy, judging one another over the Epstein thing. There was somebody on the Bond channel. We put out a Bond clip of the Epstein files. Do you care? And they're like, after JLP said in church on Sunday, church with Jesse Lee Peterson, they're just being nosy. They want to know so they can gossip and judge. And their lives will not change whatsoever. The country will not change whatsoever. But they're caught up. Judgment and gossip, and their lives will continue to be messed up. It won't change a thing. They've made it too important in their minds. They have focused on it autistically, like that woman, that mentally ill Swedish, once a child. Now she's a grown adult woman, young lady, hyper-focused on the climate. They're no different from Greta Thunberg. Greta Thunberg, who said, "Oh, how dare you? You guys just are liars and blah, 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 caring about the environment." She thinks she knows what's going on with the environment. So too, these people think they know what's going on with the late, once great Epstein. Terrible. Thank you, Carver. And they'll turn on Trump. Now, there are some over there whom I really admire and like, and I don't think they're going off the deep end totally necessarily. I really admire and respect many of my competitors. I'll leave it at that. I started to think about naming them, but no need. So what you're saying is turn a blind eye to sex trafficking and human trafficking. Hake must not have seen The Sound of Freedom. I have not seen that movie. And you sound like that woman who said to Jordan B. Peterson, so what you're saying is, oh, they've already dealt with the sex trafficking thing. They already dealt with it. That's done. And they've dealt with what's done is done. And they're dealing with it to this day, honestly. Chill out. Having loyalty to a politician, says Age of Inversion, is childish. No. There is a loyalty in which there's a loyalty basically to what's right, where you're not quick to judge. People are quick to judge Trump. And they are quick to go into their heads and believe thoughts. You guys know, if you listen to Hake, you may listen to JLP, and JLP points out, and many of you recognize it as true, that all thoughts are lies. And you jump to the thought, what if Trump is on that list and Trump was involved? And then you think, oh, I'm being fair-minded because I am willing to look at whether Trump was involved in this child S-word stuff. No, you're just following into thoughts. And that's not being fair-minded. That's being blind and lost in thoughts. And going way into your head about what if, speculation. Crazy. Not even your business. A couple more super chats from Cash App. I often forget to check the Cash App, but I happened to this morning. I happened to get a notification this morning. Curly, before the JLP show started. Hi, James. Thank you, Curly. Hey. And Tim Scott, the real one, mildly white, History Month. Thank you, man. Mildly white. Happy White History Month. Making history to this day, our greatest president is. But people aren't appreciating it. People aren't living in the present. They're living in their imaginations and in the past and thinking about Epstein and stuff. Talk about blind. What if means I am high, says Hake. Yeah, terrible. And Mina says nobody cares about the skanks, the girls. Thank you. I agree. Nobody cares about those girls. They're grown women, by the way, now. Dozens of women, supposedly young women. You're covering up an Israel blackmail ring on the USA politician is the story, claims she. But I don't know that to be true. That's not where my mind goes. It may be true, but it's, I don't know. If you want to cover it up, fine. Fine. But don't know, don't honestly care. And by the way, blackmail doesn't mean somebody's guilty. If somebody's being blackmailed, it doesn't mean they're guilty. By the way. By the way. It doesn't mean they're guilty. 1-888-775-3773. That's the story, Morning Glory. So thank you guys for your super chats. Starting with LYC, coffee from Carver, the disloyal, and the Cashapps, and more Epstein chat drama. They don't call it the snake pit for nothing. The snake pit are beside themselves. I used to not like when people would use a singular noun such as the snake pit or the Beatles, the group, right? The group is. The Beatles is. But now, since the singular noun refers to a group of people, you can refer to the people in the plural, right? So now I'm saying stuff like, oh, the Department of Justice are, because it's a whole bunch of people doing it. The Department of Justice is not a faceless singular God organization. They're a bunch of dumb liberals. So I say the DOJ are a bunch of lamos. Shout out. Except for beautiful Scam Bondi. I stand with Scam Bondi. Ms. X Mary on Rumble. I just happened to see it. Thank you for the Rumble rant. Says, wow, Hake got the call too? Double question mark. Yeah, that's the type of comment. Exactly, Ms. X Mary. Exactly. People get way into their heads and just imagine stuff. They see something, and then they imagine something, and then they speculate or ask a dumb question like that. You got the call. Oh, stop talking about this. Israel doesn't like it. AIPAC. You're getting funded by AIPAC. AIPAC doesn't like it. AIPAC being the America-Israel Political Action Committee or something like that. You guys told me about it. AIPAC doesn't like that. Stop talking about it. Where Hake, JLP, and others, Hake doesn't have the audience size to warrant getting the call, all due respect. That's right. No, I support Israel for free. And I clamp down on the, I gatekeep your Epstein drama for free. Go have your freedom of speech somewhere else and mess. Freedom to be a mess. No, you have a freedom to be a mess here to a certain extent. I will have some form of control over my show, but I disclaim it. I grant Hake isn't even on the radar to stand. Whatever, man. I love that Jesse shirt Hake has on, says Nina. Hake is consistent on this, says Chabot. He's always defended Epstein. That's right. That's right. I have always not really defended Epstein, but been like, this is an attack on men. I remember I was arguing with this old caller who's been banned like a long time ago, Skip. He would call in, talk about these Jews, and talk about Epstein and the children. He didn't care about the children. It was a smear campaign on men. And you can tell if you look at the mainstream media. Watch. Let me show you the mainstream media. Let's see. Is it going to go? Yeah. Let me take you to CNN.com right now. I check this every morning. Look, front page, Americans are broadly dissatisfied with how much Epstein info the government has released. Trump flails as Epstein storm rages around his government. 4 big questions about Trump and Epstein. You guys in the snake pit are basically CNN. You're suckers. And CNN, of course, pretends to want to know about it only because it hurts Trump, because Commie Nonsense Network hates Trump, and Trump hates them because they hate America. You know, they're basically Democrats, right? And he said he hates the Democrats. So, nice. You guys are basically commie nonsense. You fell for it. Very disloyal. No faith. And Trump has been quite consistent about it, too. People are like, oh, Trump promised that he would release it. No, he didn't. Trump ran on releasing the files. Maybe Kash Patel did. But Kash Patel is not the president. That's for sure. You know, the wild-eyed, fast-talking, pick-me Indian guy. I kind of like Kash Patel. I don't want to do him like that, but Kash Patel is the one who was running his mouth because he's like a young my age-ish, roughly. He's 45. Year and a half older than me, roughly. A little bit less. Kash Yap. Maybe he should be called Yap Patel because he keeps on yapping. American, they call him an American lawyer. He was born in Garden City, New York, okay? He's an anchor baby, I think. Serving since 2025, former federal prosecutor, lawyer, one of those overachiever, India, Asian type people. Shout out, I respect it. But one thing I don't really respect is his thing about, oh, we're going to release everything. Diddy files, Epstein files, and all that stuff. He just seemed like he was talking too much and yapping and saying stuff that I didn't necessarily buy. I don't know. Maybe he knows something I can't really say because I don't know. But he came off as somebody who just talked carelessly and talked big talker type of a guy. Because I saw clips of him on podcasts over the recent months. So, nice. He's now in the FBI, right? Something like that. So he was the one yapping. Trump never talked like that. Trump was always a man. Trump understood the attack on men. One of the things he understood was people read something or hear something, and they look at you differently. They start to assume you're guilty when you're not. Crazy. They start to fail to mind their own business. It's ridiculous. So don't fall for it. Okay, so thank you for your thank you for your Rumble rant, Miss Mary, Miss X Mary. Very cool. Got the call? Okay. 1-888-775-3773. Let's get to Terry in Oregon, who's on the line over here. Terry, happy White History Month to you.
Oh, happy White History Month.
Thank you.
I called in about the Epstein stuff.
Yeah.
I kind of have had the same response to it over the years that you have, whereas I'm just not that interested. And I guess I want to talk about why.
Okay, yeah, please.
Well, I think it's a big distraction. And I think that it's just a way for people to get angry and triggered and riled up about something they have no power over.
Yeah.
And it's a real distraction because, you know, people are very concerned about the upper echelons, the people they perceive in power being like corrupt and doing all these evil things they imagine, when like the average person is capable of the same evil.
Right.
And there's, you know, in terms of the PDF, they are everywhere. Like people are like looking and trying to like expose these PDFs and in their mind, but like in reality, they probably know somebody who's like done something to a kid, and they're just like acting all outraged and, you know, triggered and just directing their energy in the incorrect way.
Yeah.
When they probably have more power to like be more observant in their own families about things that are going on, or in their own communities about people that aren't right. So it's just weird. So to me, it's always been kind of like strange how much emphasis and energy some people seem to put into this when, I don't know, they're not as vigilant, you know, in their day-to-day life.
Right.
So why do they expect like the average politician to be as vigilant, or, you know, public servant or famous person to be as vigilant about their own acquaintances and that kind of thing? It's strange.
I totally agree with you. The I am sure that there's more to the story than they know, than we know, regarding Epstein and all that stuff. And it may be totally different from what they imagine, because they're imagining stuff and they're, as a group, making claims that are not true. And for example, there are people who are in the Bond comment section under the church little clips that we put out yesterday, saying majority of the kids are under 10 years old, very young. And that's definitely not true. If it were true, it would have been admitted by the government or by the prosecutors who are prosecuting this stuff. But it's not true. So they're making the claim that it's almost definitely not true, right? And like you said, the PDF, we say instead of pedophilia or whatever. There are people who are not just that specifically, because that's one specific kind of evil, right? One specific symptom, really, of evil. The evil is in the heart of the parents who are doing evil to their children by being hyper-focused on the wrong thing, overly cautious with their overly, helicopter parent with their children, impatient with their children, angry or fake loving of their overly attached. That I had a caller yesterday who's very concerned about protecting his children and protecting women. And if he gets overexcited about that or over zealous about that, he'll come in with an intention that's tilting away from God. Because when you hold an intention in your mind, you're not present in the moment. You have some thought in your mind that is taking you off the path of here and now. You start having a fear or a judgment of some wrong that you want to avoid occurring on your kid. Meanwhile, you're doing wrong and not even realizing it. Your whole spirit is wrong. And so there's all kinds of evils befalling people's own kids by their own hand, by their own spirit. So, anyway.
Yeah, and I mean, just to play off of that, I've known a couple of people who were, they experienced something like that in childhood, or they, were abused by maybe a family member or something. And they said that they didn't come forward about it as a child because they knew that their father would react so badly. And it was a family member that they didn't want to cause strife, in their family, because they thought their father's response would put him in jail.
Yeah.
And that their family would be worse off. So I've heard that. So I think sometimes guys get like really macho and protective.
Yeah.
And they're not.
That ends up not being protective.
They scare their kids too from like actually, coming forward and maybe putting a stop to something that was happening.
Because the kid knows that the man will not respond to it objectively like a man should. He'll overreact to it and make
in an emotional, womanly way. Yeah.
Wow, that's
it's
interesting.
Tough, though. I mean, this is the thing. It's something that happens throughout like all classes, cultures, nations. You know, and it's an evil that people have to handle, and you have to realize like if the people in charge of our society aren't handling it well, like, I mean, all you can look at is you and how you are going to react if you're ever in that situation. And you very well might be, because it is really common.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
Like, try not to be so emotional about it. Try to be more like measured, and you might actually then be a safe person for someone who's experiencing that to go through.
That's a great point. Anyway. I had never considered that. I happen to suspect, or really happen to know, that this violation of children is more common the more sexual a culture is. You know how in the black community they're very sexual. They are, and they're also not oriented towards family and self-control.
Right.
Married fathers and mothers. When you have a step parent around, the step parent or the boy or the mother's boyfriend or whoever, or the father's girlfriend.
Kids without any supervision.
Yeah,
too.
But the parents are the ones who are less likely to do that sexually on kids than the other adults around. It's oftentimes, when you bring in step parents, the step parents are often a problem of some type of abuse, oftentimes, more often than with real parents. So that's an issue, and same thing with the woman-oriented Latino culture. That's why you hear of these illegals doing the quality, meaning the character of some of these rapes that you hear from people who've crossed the border. They're from a totally less civilized and more sexual, woman-oriented, just perverse culture further gone than our own, than the more civilized, if you will, culture of America. And so you hear about these rapes. Sorry for saying that word, but they're going on, and Ann Coulter has written about this in her book Adios America. You know how I say Adios America? I got that from Ann Coulter.
You got that from Anne.
Yeah.
Beautiful Anne.
Beautiful
Yeah.
Ann Coulter with no E at the end. Ann. The quality of the stuff that they're doing is crazy. And the media doesn't really acknowledge it. But, you know, you heard about that 9-year-old girl who had to get the abortion or whatever
Oh, God,
from
yeah.
her mother's boyfriend or whatever it was over in Ohio or somewhere. It's like all too
Wasn't
common.
that a case in Texas that they were using it to be like, oh, you know, if we start making abortion harder to get, then, you know, this 9-year-old can't get hers
Yep.
or something. I felt like that was another.
That's what it was. I think it was one of,
Yeah.
that's why it came up, because it was a pro-abortion argument rather than an anti-illegal alien argument. Everybody trying to use it for their own purpose. The Epstein people on the right want to use it against Israel, I guess, or whoever, and then the Epstein hyper-focused people on the left want to use it to get Trump. Terrible.
Yeah. Well, anyways, yeah, this is just my 2 cents, I think.
It reminds me of the Q people. Remember the Q people?
Oh, yeah.
Just making claims that they don't know to be true, but acting like they do know it to be true. And disproportionately, it seems like women making these claims, by the way, but there are males who are doing it too. But I see women in the comments making claims. And shout out to the women. Many of them I know and like. But women and these males are falling for stuff that they don't know to be true. Anyway.
Yeah, and I mean, even with the Epstein stuff, a lot of or at least the women I know that came forward about it, they were teens when it happened.
Right.
Which was a bit different than being a prepubescent child.
Exactly.
Not that it's right or okay, but you know,
right.
I remember what Prince Andrew, he got stripped of all his title, or not his. He basically lost any ability to act as a royal.
I didn't know that.
His position, yeah, he still is part of the family, but he's not able to do certain things on their behalf because of the young woman that came forward and testified against him.
Yeah.
She was the same age when he slept with her. That is the legal consent age in Britain. But people are acting like he's a nonce for it. And
right.
I mean, I had to talk down a friend who's like a younger woman in the UK. She was like so agitated and upset about it. I'm like, isn't that the legal age of consent? Like, aren't you considered legal, like where you live?
At 17 or whatever?
Yeah, I was like, he didn't really, I mean, I'm not okay with what he did, but he didn't break any laws in your country. So why is it okay for like a man his age in your country to sleep with a woman that age?
Yeah.
That it's not okay for him to go do it somewhere else.
I know. It's crazy.
People get really worked up, you know,
they totally
and
do.
It's easy to exploit that. So
yeah.
Anyway.
I didn't know that happened to Prince Andrew. I knew that he had to pay money. He had to pay out money to Virginia Giuffre. She made a lot of money out of this.
I know. And like how many victims of like how many young women in that position, let's just say, ever got a payout for it?
Yeah.
You know, or got any young women how many young women get like groomed or like get, you know, R-worded or just get, you know, taken advantage of that never receive any kind of, you know, public acknowledgement of it or justice or financial compensation, but people are still like, I don't know, not satisfied. It's like they want blood.
Yeah. And you know what's funny is like a lot of these people who are all up in arms about this, acting like they're so pure, we're like, you're not even supposed to be having sex out of wedlock. You're not even supposed to be all into pornography and all that stuff. But they're doing the same thing. It's just a judgment. And they're making stuff out to be worse than it actually was, when they're worse than the people that they're judging. It's crazy.
I don't know about all that. Like, it's not up to me to judge, right? I mean, at the end of the day, like, we're all going to be judged. So I don't know.
But when they're judging, they're bringing judgment on themselves.
Right, exactly. And they're, it's it's so much easier to like look at somewhere where you have no power and get angry
And ignore your own out of
instead
control
of
life.
acknowledging, where you do have some agency and where you can make a difference, which is in your own life.
Yeah. What a mess. Thank you, Terry.
Yeah, I know. All right. Thanks for taking my call. Bye.
All right. Take care. Robert in Kansas on the line here. What's up, Robert? How you doing?
Hey, brother, doing well. I hope you are as well. Terry's a smart lady. That's good.
Indeed.
Always challenges my misogyny when I hear a smart woman. They are out there. There's a few of them. They're very rare. But I'm not saying she's smart. I'm saying anyway. Dude, you banned Skip, bro. You banned your best caller ever.
I'm pretty sure I did. That was like a long time ago. That's funny that you remember him.
Well, no, I remember Skip. I'm just surprised that, dude, oh man, I can't believe you banned Skip. Man, you got to unban Skip. You let me on here, so.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, hey, that Gatekeeper shirt, is that just because you're like Jesse's handler or whatever? Like, you're like.
No, it's because I put out the truth, and a young lady who was a faithful viewer at the time, might still be, appreciated that and sent it to me. It's actually a law enforcement T-shirt. It's like a relentless defender, and the LE and relentless LE is short for law enforcement. So basically, I'm like a spiritual law enforcer. In her mind, I don't know. She might have been trolling me and calling me a gatekeeper in a negative way, like a lot of you guys think of gatekeeping as, oh, you prevent people from talking about the Jews or something like that. Or you think that flat earth is fake, gatekeeper, something like that. But yeah, I don't know.
So like, okay, so you and Fox News and CNN are telling the truth about the Epstein thing for sure.
Well, CNN is not telling the truth because they're acting like there are legitimate criticisms of Trump on it, which there aren't, of course.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I can't.
Don't act like you read CNN the way I do.
No, I get my news from the Hake report. That's it. That's
nice.
The only place I get it.
So you do get your news from CNN.
Well, I guess I don't know. That's up to you.
That's right.
So were you part of, since you're a gatekeeper, were you part of the GATE program in school at any point?
No. I was smart, but I didn't do GATE. I don't know why, or I don't remember what it was, but I never went to GATE. I stayed in class.
It stands for Gifted and Talented Education.
Okay. Yeah,
and,
fortunately, I didn't have to do that.
Yeah, good. It's a good thing. And what's weird about me is in elementary school, they said I was like retarded. I couldn't read or write or something. And then when I got to middle school, they said I was a genius. So I don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know what they're talking about.
I could totally believe that because I feel the same way about you, both of those things.
Yeah, I think they're right about both, I guess. Huh?
I think you're a slow but a genius.
Okay. All right. So anyway, the GATE program, this is my point, is that they have this gifted and talented program in education, and I don't know if people have been in it, but they take like 5% of the school or less or more, I don't know. And they basically interview you, they have you take a little test, and they just see if they want you to be in this program, these people who come and do this. And for us, what they did to us mostly, which was interesting, is they just took us, this is like 6th grade, 7th grade, I think 6th grade, I don't know, 6th or 7th grade. And they took us in there and just taught us vocabulary words for like an entire year. That's all they did.
Okay.
And a bunch of other stuff too. But they also have you take these tests and do these things where they're evaluating you and like, I guess, the psychologist or the government, whoever is doing this, right?
Yep.
And they break you into this quadrant. Well, they break you in half first, and they find out who is the real smart ones and who are just, above average students, right? So they break you basically in half. And then they put like another line across to break you into quadrants, and they talk about the ones who are like totally compliant and subservient to authority, that's such that they will basically anything you teach them to do. They're smart and they'll just comply with anything, basically. And then they have a quadrant below that, which are the ones who are like, they're more independent, where like you can give them like an order, and if they don't agree with it, they might not do it, right? And so they have those down there, and then they break that quadrant down. They break all of them down, but they break that down again, and they find out which ones that are really smart and independent, but they can still use them, basically, like they can utilize them in a sense that through certain motivation, like maybe they're motivated through money or other things, that they can actually control them in some way. And then like the smallest quadrant are like the really smart ones who are just like almost eccentric, like they're totally independent. You cannot control them in any way.
Nice.
And then supposedly the conspiracy is that you're delineated down into these groups in this program. And the government and everybody else knows who is like, who to use and who is this way and who is that way, the people that are at the top level of their education system. And so it's an interesting thing. That's the conspiracy, is that it's been going on for a long time, and it's utilized, information collection network, and it's made so that they figure out, let's say they find somebody that just, even if they're really intelligent, they just cannot use them at all. They can, try and influence their life. Like if they were that, or if they were someone who was really smart and just did everything they were told to do, they could put them in a position where they, could control them. And so,
nice.
I just thought it was interesting that it's a conspiracy, right? You say, Robert, that isn't real. Like Nick.
I'll tell you one thing. All of the education stuff is about controlling and clamping down on the kids and on their independence. Practically all of it. And that's why it's made for girls and not for boys. That's why the girls are excelling at the so-called education world right now, because it's catering to them, it's propping them up artificially, and it's oriented toward, I guess, staying inside type of life, whereas boys are more exploratory, experimental, independent-minded, interested in their own things, also wanted to get outside more. You know what I mean? It's trying to turn boys into girls. That's education.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you say, control, and when you say control, mind control, if you think about education, if you break down the word government, if you know your Latin, to govern the mind, right? To control the mind control. Right?
I didn't know that.
So if you think, yes, sir. So that's what government means. It means mind control. So the first government was religion, right? And then now we have education, and we have, and then once you're done with school, right, the media picks it up. And then
it's like Reddit, a whole bunch of a world of Reddit bros are the voters, where they're like wind-up toys, very predictable in their behavior. You know what I mean? They just question truth and swallow the lie.
Yeah, and that's why school is so mandatory, because they're forming your mind, to govern the mind, to control the mind, is to form the mind at a formidable age.
Yeah.
And so even if you're in a homeschool situation, you have to read the same textbook. You have to see that the Earth is a globe.
Well,
and
that
we
part's
landed
true.
on the moon.
And
Yes,
that's
sir.
true, too.
Yes,
I assume.
Uh-huh.
Well, thank you, man.
Well, no, it is. No,
Yeah.
but that's what it is. But yeah, it's if you can break down words, like for whatever reason, they did put me through this program. Then they put me into 2 years of Latin in high school for some reason.
Nice.
And then once you can break down, and I can't speak Latin, no way, but I can break down words just from how much education I have. I can break down words like the word government.
Uh-huh.
So mint means mind.
I gotta go. You already
Government.
said that. I gotta keep it
Well, no,
moving, man. My mind is full.
Learn words, Hake, and do gays hate the straights?
Of course, they hate the gays too. They're
No,
some of the
but
most
like,
hateful people.
Do you gays hate us straights?
You? I gotta go. Rob in NorCal is on the line. What's up, Robert? I mean, Rob. Sorry, I doxed him.
Hey, what's up, Hake?
Hey,
Happy continued White History Month.
thank you, man. You as well.
I appreciate it. Let's talk about something a little less serious, but possibly more serious. The that horizon you speak of.
Yeah,
I
this
sent you about
obvious
4 videos
drop
now.
off. I
Yeah.
saw some.
Did you?
Yeah. Let's
What'd
see.
you think when you see that horizon?
You're
It looks like, oh, there
I saw
goes
one.
the thing, and then you zoom in, and it's actually there.
Let me see. Let me show you what he's
Yeah,
talking
you trying to
about.
pull it up? All right.
So if we mosey on over to the HakeReport.com. Oh, terrible.
Uh-huh.
And we scroll down to the bottom of this little thing. I change these notes every time. Okay, so for example, I wonder if this will pull up. It's a Facebook thing sent from Rob.
Yeah.
Checkmate, rest in peace, round earth, and we're looking at a platform. We're looking at this platform that's on top of a tall pillar. I've never seen a platform quite like this. And it's really zoomed in. You see a fuzzy horizon, and you click it, and we're zooming out. And we see it getting quieter, and then it's just a faint thing. You see a hint of white, and then I paused it. And if you click, and it's still above the horizon, boom,
Well,
it's gone now. It's still above the
yeah.
horizon, but it's just disappeared in the, because it's an obviously cloudy, there's some marine layer there. It's disappearing behind the fuzz. And
Yeah,
so that thing is standing above the horizon, so it's always above the horizon. It never dropped below the horizon that we saw.
Well, that's because it doesn't drop below the horizon at all.
Right, because it's standing taller than the drop off, where it drops off.
No, but look how far back it zooms. Though. I mean, that's where you guys say, oh, you can't see it because it.
Well, in that case,
because
you can't see it because of I guess because it's so tiny, and it's off in the distance, and off in the. But you can't see it. The only reason you can't see it is because of all the atmospheric stuff, apparently, and it's so small.
Ether, the atmosplenic material,
The
ether.
atmosphere. The
So
air. The air
so
mixed with water, or whatever.
Yeah.
Because you can plainly
Okay,
see in this that it's a bit cloudy, and it's so tiny.
Sure. There's definitely condensation there.
Yeah,
But
and something that tall has to be.
originally-
How tall is that? Would you
That's-
say that
I don't know,
platform?
maybe
50 feet.
Maybe between 50 and 75.
And we're obviously quite high. We're looking from a high point as well,
don't
well
know.
above the water, aren't we?
So the calculation, though, is how many miles do you think that is out?
I
Because
couldn't.
the calculation
I don't
of
know.
drop is, so the calculation of drop would be 8 inches per mile squared. So you take those miles and you square it and you multiply it by 8 inches. And then that would be how far behind the curve that possibly 100-foot tower is.
And how high was the camera that was recording this?
That is uncertain. That is an uncertain.
So
height
it doesn't.
for sure.
It doesn't prove anything.
What
because
did you see?
It looks like we could be on another pier. That's another like 50 feet above sea level, perhaps. I don't know how high.
Sure.
So something 50 feet high is going to see quite far, right?
You would see further.
Yeah.
But there would
And
still
if
be
you're
the
50
same
feet
drop
high
off.
and they're 50 feet high, they're definitely going to see quite far, right?
Possibly, but you might would only see the top of that thing, and not the pole that it's sitting on. You know,
That's if you're further out.
Because the
if
curve,
you're further out.
yeah, but you are further out because the camera's zoom is pretty high. Now there's another one that
Do you know how far out that
where
is?
it goes to a boat. A boat is actually on the water.
Right.
And it does the same zoom, so it's not even on top of a pole.
Right.
It has the same zoom effect where it looks like it's out. It looks like it's over the curve, but you zoom in and it's right there.
But it's not true because when you as you zoom in, it doesn't peak up above the curve because there is stuff that literally drops below the curve. The sun, for example. Right?
No.
The sun does. Here, let me
no,
show.
only your mind does. Only your mind drops below the curve.
No, here's another video that you showed us. The sun.
Okay, perfect.
The sun is.
I'm like 8 seconds behind you, I think.
Yeah, no, at least. Anchor Baby
Is it
said
the
there's
sun?
no video of a sun getting smaller.
Yes, yeah.
And
do
so
that
we're
one.
looking at
Yeah,
a sunset, and the sunset is not setting over the ocean. I don't think it's setting over the. See, it just dropped below the thing.
But it gets smaller. Yeah, but it gets smaller. I'm still waiting for it.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, here we go. So what Anchor Baby said is that there's no video of a sun getting smaller.
Okay.
He says that it's always the same size.
Right.
Now, in this particular video, the sun is getting smaller. Yeah, eventually it goes past the.
You see, it rose
right?
up. It rose up from below the horizon. It rose up.
Well,
and you can't explain that.
It's out of your. It's just out of the. It's out of the focal range.
No,
of
you're
that
lying to
particular
me
camera
now.
No,
you're basically an Epstein hype person right now. Because I'm literally seeing it drop below the land or the sea or whatever is.
No, it's away. It's not dropping first. It's not dropping down. It's going away.
Or going up.
It's going past.
I get
like
that's what
your eyeball.
Look, it just dropped. It just dipped.
No, but it's getting smaller because it's going away.
No, if it were going away and it disappeared like that, it would have to be going like it would have to suddenly do warp speed. You know how how like a spaceship is just floating along, and then it suddenly does warp speed. That's not how the sun works.
I used to love Star Trek. No, I used to love Star Trek. Trust me.
Well, I was thinking.
I was
thinking
definitely
Star
bummed
Wars.
when Star Wars. Okay, yeah, sure.
That's
I don't
know where I got
hyperdrive.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm thinking Spaceballs.
What's the code? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
You're not
okay.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, so I saw where you. I think I saw what you just pointed out. Okay, because you were talking about how the sun appears to get smaller. Oh man.
Yes. Yeah.
Where was it?
Because the focal lens of the camera can see further, so it has more distance that it can visualize in order to see the sun getting smaller. But it's still limited. It's not like it can see forever. You know, that's what the Globers always try to come up with. Oh, why don't you see London from here? It's like, well, that's not how it works.
Right.
So yeah. Oh yeah, and this is the clip that I clipped that out. So that's the original video. I clipped out that clip.
Oh, I see. That's what happened. Yeah. I saw the clip. Yeah. Thank you for clipping.
So yeah, but see those charts right there that you just went over probably 8 seconds ago.
Okay.
Those are good charts, or those are good images to show what we're talking about. Like, why doesn't? But anyways,
I'll keep this stuff in there. So okay, so if I hit the. Yeah, so this one, it looks like, because of the glare of the sun, if you zoom in and darken the lens or whatever, tighten the lens or something, you can see that the sun is actually smaller because the glare is making it look bigger than it actually is what you guys say.
Well, kind of, but also it's the fact that camera can just see further, so it adds distance that you can see the sun.
Right.
Whereas when you just look with your eyeballs, the sun
it's just
leaves your field of vision before it really gets smaller. visually.
Whatever, man.
I know. I mean,
here's the fishing boat one that you claim is beyond the curve. Okay, there's the boat.
Okay, nice.
There's supposedly
Okay,
the
there we
boat.
go.
This is super zoomed in. By the way, we're seeing waves, I guess, because Flat Earth Dave was on the JLP show within like a year ago or so, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah.
And he showed me, there's like these crazy wild shapes that are up above the horizon. And he's saying that those are, what did he say they are? Those are dolphins jumping on the past the horizon. It's not. And now I'm looking at waves. Are these waves? And of course, it's distorted because it's so zoomed in and the camera's shaky, of course. So I kind of get that there's some distortion going on. But there's no way that you would see waves on the horizon if the Earth were flat, because the waves would never be higher than the land and the Mount Everest and all that stuff that's behind it, right?
Well, the waves would never be higher, but you'd have to still be able to zoom in to something
so you
higher,
wouldn't see the waves,
like that thing that's in there.
Right, but the vanishing point, it would vanish at like the average, and the average would be above the waves. The average height would be above the waves. The waves wouldn't top above the horizon.
Well, I mean, waves can get about 10 to 15 feet tall.
Right, or even taller. But 10 to 15 feet is not the average height of like that you would see on the flat
ocean
Earth.
Waves.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, waves can be
depending on how high you are, you could easily be 10 to 15 feet above too, looking, or 50 feet,
sure.
and you still see 50 feet or 100 feet, and you're still seeing waves on the horizon if you zoom in.
Yeah, okay, so if you're standing 50 feet away from a tree that's 100 feet tall, and there's a guy that's 12 feet, if he stands right in front of you, you're not going to be able to see very much of that tree.
Exactly.
If he stands 20 feet back, you're going to be able to see most of the tree. So that's kind of the argument with the waves being closer to you, causing more of a discrepancy of what you can see. But Dave is not on the good flat Earth path anymore. He's kind of what you would call a gatekeeper of sorts at this point.
Is he controlled opposition?
Yeah,
he's not a Christian. Is he not a Christian?
I don't know enough about him to answer that, but that's not his main argument for sure when he does pretend to argue for the flat Earth. So, but yeah, these guys got themselves all outed on the TFE.
There's a boat over. Look, the waves are above the boat. That's interesting.
Let's see. But yeah,
there was one from Big Bump that I showed from Instagram, where the further the thing got out, the more of it disappeared below the horizon.
Is Big Bump a flat earther or non-flat earther?
No, he knows it's an obvious globe and spinning through space. I'm pretty sure.
Poor lost soul. It's okay.
So this one that you guys are pointing out, it's interesting.
So the boat's on the water itself.
I know, but it's
right.
Interesting. Is it beyond the horizon, or is it just waves above it, or what is it? It looks like it's going further.
But look,
this is interesting.
I mean,
is this one you guys? This is a pro flat Earth video. It's disappearing past the horizon.
Yeah, that boat's not very far. You could probably go out a little ways.
Right, because the reason that it's not very far is because it drops off before very far.
I don't know about that.
That's funny, man.
That one's not the greatest.
Yeah, it's because it proves us right.
It's not. We wouldn't go that far.
The sunset is just the most obvious spinning globe proof. Ball, Earth, obvious beyond the curve.
So there is a video of how fast like Mach 5 is, like something like that, Mach 3 on the ground, or maybe it's Mach 1. I don't know.
Okay.
And it's a rail. It's like a rail cart, like on a train track rail, with like a jet engine on the back or whatever.
All right.
And the camera is set up right next to it. It's like goes past you, like you can barely see it.
Awesome.
And so if you think about that, and the Earth is supposed to be spinning like 100 times faster than that, you know, and we're supposed to be flying towards Vega, you know, 100 times faster than as we're spinning. All those speed forces, and we can't detect any speed on Earth.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah, because we're acclimated to it. We're born into it, so we don't know the difference. Right? Have you ever been on a still, stable Earth? It's always been spinning.
No, it's
and
always
flying.
been stable.
Stable in your mind, but it's actually not. It's stable to you, relatively speaking.
But they hammered this into our heads when we all thought we could be Spider-Man and Batman, and cops and robbers was a real, like, you know, job opportunity in the future.
What's your point about that?
You know, it was
when we were impressionable and we just believed stuff, or I disavow.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's like, I mean, you've just been told it over and over and over again. The Earth is a ball. The Earth is a ball. The Earth is a ball. The Earth is a ball.
Isn't it consistent with your experience?
No, because if I go outside, I go to the beach, you know, and I look out. See, there's a good one. That's like 20,000. I don't know if that looks like one of those 100,000 feet high weather balloons without a fisheye lens. That's a good one.
I don't know what you're looking at now.
Probably 8 seconds ago. Now I'm seeing a Pepe thing.
Yeah,
so before it was before the Pepe.
Okay.
That high altitude weather balloon.
Oh, there was a weather balloon. Oh yeah. Okay, so this view from the atmosphere was view from a weather balloon, and
but without a fisheye lens, and you see that's like miles and miles and miles and miles and miles of flatness.
Yeah, I need to show you my. I need to pull up my obvious ball Earth here. Where is it? Would it be on my?
Still
news?
Like 8.
Ball.
Yeah. That right. Okay, I'm like 8 seconds behind you, but yeah, but you
ball
see how high
Earth,
that is.
Horizon view. Let me show you this. This is this right here is a weather balloon. No, or this is. Let's pretend it's an airplane. This is what you're looking at. The horizon. Yeah. You're looking at a flattish disc on the obvious globe. Here's the globe. Yeah. This is my drawing. Here's the globe, the ball.
All right, I'm 8, 10 seconds.
No, you're fine. I'm showing the globe, and this is
now I see your drawing.
The radius.
Dude, you are in the wrong field. You're definitely an artist.
Thank you, man. I actually am. I went to school for it. There's a person. This is the person's field of view.
For some of it.
And then here's an airplane that's very close to the. This is not exactly to scale, but an airplane sees a little bit further before you can't see the whole hemisphere. Even the International Space Station is a mere 250 or 350 or something like that miles above Earth's surface. So even the International Space Station cannot see much of the obvious globe. It can only see a portion of it, and they're not necessarily going to detect that it's an obvious. They're not going to detect a curve necessarily because they're just so nose up against it. Watch, I'm nose up against. I'm nose up against
about
this
30 feet
globe
underground in a pool with a green screen. But,
and I'm looking at this globe, and I can't really. I'm probably 1,000 miles above Earth's surface right here. Oh, let me show you. My eyeball is probably the closer my eyeball gets to it, the flatter it looks because I can only see a little bit. You know.
Yeah, that's one theory.
No, it's reality. It's the truth, brother.
But the math on it just doesn't work.
It totally works.
No, because when we test the math from a point far away to another point that we can still see, and we do the math on it, the curve of the Earth should be blocking what we can see, according to globe math.
Yeah, I've heard you say that, and I've heard
the
Alex,
diameter.
I've heard one of our greatest callers, Alex from California, mention that the math doesn't work out. I've never really tested the math to confirm what you guys are claiming.
Because you didn't do the GATE program. You know, if you would have done the GATE, program.
GATE, we're saying GATE. Yeah. Did you do GATE?
Yeah. I think I probably was, actually.
Wow.
I remember something about that. But I don't know if that kind of came in towards the end of my school. Those more
Are you
like
older than me, or
late,
you like
late high school thing. I think I'm older than you, yeah. I'm
you 50 or so?
somewhere above. No, I'm 40. I'm mid-40s.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting,
Yeah.
because Gate I only heard about when I was like in 2nd grade or 5th grade or something like that. I didn't hear about it afterwards.
I think I heard about it probably right as I was leaving high school, kind of thing. But I mean, they had advanced classes still. There was a name for it. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was. I was technically ahead. Yes.
Right on, man. It's great hearing from you, and shout out
you
to
too,
shout out to you and your fam.
Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah, I got the 2 youngest here right now fighting over a pink little train thing. So
right on.
They're having a good time.
Protect them from
Yes,
Epstein.
sir. Yeah, absolutely. There's all those people. They're all crazy.
Don't drive them to be runaways.
No, definitely not.
I wish you well, man.
I wish you well too, Hake. I'll call back and I'll get you another video to discuss here shortly.
That sounds great. Take care.
All right, brother. Y'all have a great show. Later.
Bye. Mark in Los Angeles, California is on the line over here. What's up, Mark? Thank you for calling and holding. You're live. Happy White History Month.
Happy White History Month.
Thank you.
Have you been saying that?
I have.
That last guy didn't say it.
Oh, well, I might not have said it to him because for sure he would have said it had I
Okay.
said it to him.
Okay, a couple things. I want to get back to the Epstein client list.
Yes.
I just got a few simple things to make a comment on and question. First of all, how do you square this scam Bondi saying that she had the list on her desk, and then sometime later, I don't know, a week or a day or whatever, later she says that doesn't exist? Is she lying, or is she covering for the guilty?
I don't.
Okay, that's one question. Now,
I don't
my
know.
other thing is,
She might have been
what
saying.
do you
Okay, I'll answer them after you ask them all. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Don't forget, I'd like an answer to that.
Yeah.
Secondly, I have 3, so after this one more, then you can answer, please.
Cool.
What do you have against the list coming out? That's number 2. Scam Bondi, lying, and then what you have against the list being revealed. And number 3, do you believe that these other, I don't know, conservative Inc., as I'll refer to them, I don't know if you want me to drop names, but 3 well-known conservatives just yesterday came out and said they're through with the Epstein files. They're not going to talk anymore. One of them was Charlie Kirk. They got to him, man, because he was pretty good on this issue, and 7,000 of his own convention goers want to see that list. Okay? Also, Dinesh D'Souza is against talking about this any further. Another mainline conservative, and I forget the third guy's name. I should have wrote it down, but it doesn't matter. What I'm getting at with that third comment is that the conservatives have been silenced. If you criticize Epstein or his island, you are anti-Semitic. If you criticize Israel, you are anti-Semitic. Finally, I'm going to try to get this name right. Ehud Barak. He was an Israeli who headed Mossad. Okay, he was the head of Mossad. I don't know the years, but it could be researched. He met with Epstein 12 times. Why would he meet with Epstein 12 times if he wasn't Mossad? Okay, those are my questions.
Ehud Barak, I search it. It looks like a general and a former prime minister of Israel, 83 years old, still alive. And
Okay.
I don't know if he was a leader of the Labor Party. Sounds communist, not sure.
Probably.
And
But Mossad had to answer to him.
so he, okay.
I don't know if that's in the profile. I can't see what you have up. But
Maybe I'm confused. In 1999, there's one picture of him, and he doesn't look. He doesn't look like he. Maybe he's young looking in his 60s at that time. I guess it's whatever.
okay. But we could just leave it at why would he have met with Epstein 12 times unless Epstein was Mossad. But let's go back to Scam Bondi.
Okay, go in
Admitting
order
that she had the
of
list on-
appearance. Scam Bondi may or may not be lying. I don't take it to
How
be
do
a
you
lie.
square that?
I
Wait a
square
minute.
it in
She had
that
it on her desk,
Right.
and now it doesn't exist.
by it, she claims she was referring to the file. The file
Well,
on her
let's
desk,
file.
not necessarily the client list.
Well, it wouldn't be. Well, wouldn't that be part of the file?
If it were part of the file, it would have been in there. But they claim, and I don't know if it's true or not, but the DOJ claims there was no client list. Right?
Well, then she lied.
Is that correct?
She had
though?
it in, I heard her say it on a talk show on Fox.
Yeah,
she had the list.
Right, Anchor Baby played it yesterday, and I saw her explanation of it last week before Punchy TV. I don't know if you caught Punchy TV, but you would have loved Derek, the black producer. He was all over this, and I was not. But she explained it that she meant not the list on her desk, but the file on her desk. So she was basically assuming that there was a list in that file on her desk, I guess. That's how I square it. But I don't know.
think the public
They
is going
could
to buy
be.
that.
She could be lying. The DOJ could be lying, or she could have just been speaking imprecisely, and you guys are misreading it. So
No, she's a scammer. Even yourself, you said yourself that you didn't want her in that position. This doesn't have to do with
That's
Epstein.
true. Yep. I don't necessarily trust her. I never really have. She seems like a mainstream type of woman, attorney general type of a person from Florida. And she seemed okay, like for a woman, fairly conservative. But I don't know. I can't really.
Well, she's better than Merrick
But
Garland.
I don't consider. Yeah, definitely, she's better than Merrick Garland. But I don't consider that a lie necessarily because I can't tell. I don't know.
That to me, that's a lie, but that's okay.
All
so
right,
we
then-
don't have an answer to that. Okay.
Right.
Second question: if a list exists, what would you have against putting it out publicly? Why not?
I would agree with Trump that people would read into that list and it would just create more mess. That's the only reason that I would have against it coming out. If Trump is against it coming out and he gave the reason of it creating more mess and problems for people who are
Well, you're going to
innocent.
have to define more mess.
Mess
Okay, I
being-
love
mess-
Trump too,
mess-
but you just can't hide behind his words.
Right. But
I'm an individual.
let me
I voted
explain.
for Trump. I love Trump, and I'll die for Trump. But
Nice.
I'm not going to die on this hill.
Right.
Those people were on the list. Trump probably knows who they are. There is a list. Christine, or what's her name, Maxwell. I know she's not a reliable
I don't
source.
necessarily agree that there's a list. I don't know if the DOJ
Well,
is telling the
Maxwell
truth or
says
not.
there is. Dershowitz says there is.
Right, but they were talking about the butler's phone book or whatever.
Whatever is
Yeah.
right. There's a list. There were people there, real people, real victims.
I know, but
and
that's
again,
not necessarily
you keep bringing
evidence.
this up. No, I mean, you brought it up with your other caller that there was something about children under 10. As
Yeah.
if that makes a difference. If they were 17 and 11 months, they're still children by the law.
Yeah,
So this distinguishing on age is just a way to split hairs.
I know, but people are making
So wait a
claims
minute,
that
let
aren't
me,
true.
please, if I could just ask this. What would you have if there is a list, and I believe there is, there's at least two people who say so.
Who said
oh,
so?
this is what I wanted to point out. Maxwell says if she gets a pardon from Trump, she'll expose the list. So is she lying too? I know she's not a reliable source.
Right.
But I have a feeling there may be some truth to that. And, okay, so if there is a list, assuming there is, for the sake of argument, would you want it to be exposed? Forget what Trump said. I'm asking you, Hake, should that list be exposed?
Maybe, but I
Don't
wouldn't.
you want to know who these devils are?
Not necessarily.
Well, that's a
Because
cop-out.
let me tell you, because I said I would agree with Trump and Jesse about people will read something that's in this list, purported list, assuming that it exists, and they will read into it and call somebody a pedophile or something who did not do anything wrong. And
So what?
that's not right.
So what?
Look.
No, I mean, so what?
So what? Because that changes stuff, and people will. It's mess. You're against gossip and speculation. It's kind of like when they did a fishing expedition on Trump. You know, they wanted to dig into his taxes and stuff and private information.
Yeah,
People
but there was a motive behind that.
Right,
and there's
a
What's
motive.
the motive behind not wanting a list exposed?
There's
to protect gay people's interests? That's what it seems like to me.
To
you
protect.
don't want to talk about Mossad. You don't want to talk about why Barak, or whatever his name is, met with Epstein 12 or 15
I don't mind
times.
talking about it. I just don't know. I don't care. But
Yeah, but you don't care. And why are these mainstream conservative ink types going against their own people in the case of Charlie Kirk
yeah.
and wanting to move on from this issue? I don't want to move on.
Well, maybe he sees that.
closed.
Let me put out something that I'm seeing. I'm seeing a lot of people going crazy over this. They're making claims that aren't true.
It's a setup. It's so easy to see through it. I mean, come on.
They're turning on decent people like Jesse, like Trump.
I'm not.
And they're making claims about me sometimes.
But you guys have been hoodwinked on this.
But we've been quite consistent in this isn't the big deal that you guys are making.
You never wanted to see the list? Is that what you're trying to tell me? In all
Never
your
particularly.
time, I can't quote you on anything, but you're telling me that you're not interested to see who was on Epstein Island when we know that they're all probably Democrats. You could dispute that, but
Right.
until the list comes out, you don't have a leg to stand on unless you could disprove what I'm saying. I can't prove it because they won't release the list.
There are people. I know exactly. People are saying,
and you could say I'm wrong.
but yeah, exactly. So if you don't know and you have no way of knowing, then why bother with it?
Pardon me?
Why bother with it if you don't know, you have no way of knowing, and they're not
We do have a
releasing
way
it?
of knowing. If we release, or pardon, this Maxwell woman, she said she's going to release it. Dershowitz saw the list, but he's by under court order not to talk about it. And yet you're here defending these demons. I'm not calling you one.
Right.
I'm not calling you one.
Yeah, but I'm not
you're
defending them.
evil
I'm just saying
by arguing against the list being suppressed.
I'm more about defending the innocent and
or the file itself.
And the more you, it's kind of like giving away information that's not anybody's business.
Oh, I think if they're pedophiles, if it's proven that they are, and we know Epstein was, we know what's their name that's in jail was involved in this evil. We know there are victims, okay? And you want to play, I don't know? You want to pretend this didn't happen? All these children were not abused? Is that what you want me to believe and your audience to believe?
Not necessarily. I just don't see what you
don't want
think is
revealed.
important about it.
You want to just move on.
Yeah, because I've never been pulled in by this hyperventilating
I'm
about.
not pulled in. All I want is a list to be revealed.
That means you're pulled in. That means you're holding on to it. And so to explain the Charlie Kirk thing, if I were Charlie Kirk,
I saw a clip of him on one of your competitors this morning, and he was saying pretty much what you've said. That he said he's not going to talk about Epstein anymore. He wants to move on.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Except I'm a little bit different because I'm continuing to talk about him because I see how you guys are going crazy about it, and it's like interesting.
I'm not going crazy because
you're a little bit crazy because you are holding on to it when you have been proven to be powerless over it. It's all up to Trump and his DOJ, and so you're acting like you believe stuff to be true, but you don't know a lot of this stuff to be true.
Okay, but I know what I see on TV. Scam Bondi said there was a file. You want to call it a file?
Right.
Fine. And then the next thing we know, there's no file.
No, there's a file, but not a list, according to her.
Well, that's splitting hairs.
No, it's not splitting hairs. It's a difference.
Well, says she.
Right.
Dan Bongino apparently is at odds with her. I don't know the details of that.
I'm not like the one difference between me and Charlie Kirk is Charlie Kirk, according to you, has talked like he was interested in this. I have never done that.
He did.
Yeah. And I'm not like Cash Patel. Cash Patel talked big about, we got to release everything, Epstein. and we got to release Diddy stuff. I'm like, what are you talking about? You talking crazy?
Why?
So, and then he switched, right?
Crazy about wanting to know who attended Diddy's party. He's in jail, isn't he? Or did he get out? I don't know.
I don't know.
Whatever his status is. He had some crooked business going on.
Right, and that's just like gossip stuff, because just because you were at a party doesn't mean you did wrong.
With Epstein, there were real victims. I don't know.
I know,
about
but every person on that list is not a real perpetrator.
Some of them have to be.
Maybe.
Why are you giving evil the benefit of the doubt?
Because what if it was just Epstein doing it the whole time?
No way, man. According to the victims, there were other pervs involved.
But victims are not reliable sources.
Says you.
Yes, I do say that.
Well, you say that, but it's meaningless. We have.
It's
real
a fact, though. Victims are not reliable sources.
No, well, let's investigate. I hope, I don't like the Democrats, and I don't trust them at all. But I do hope they open this Bo Rana, or whatever his name is, this liberal halfwit.
Ro Khanna?
Yeah. He wants to open an investigation into the Epstein file. And again, I hate tyrant judges, but I hope a judge comes out and orders that file to be released. As much as I hate tyrant judges, this is one time it would help. And I don't think the Democrats are going to be any good at investigating this, because half of them are rotten to the core, or if not all of them.
I'll tell you that you brought up that Democrats are guilty of this stuff. Republicans have been too.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. They blocked, the Republicans blocked a witness. But I don't want to get into that. It's something else.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, no, you're right. There's too many rhinos that can't be trusted. And there's probably Republicans, maybe, I could be wrong here, that may have actually gone to the island and been on that list.
Well,
again,
it's not. Somebody made the point that there are many. Somebody made the claim, and I don't know if it's true, that there are many Epsteins. So he's just like a drop in the bucket. There are many people
but I mean,
doing
he was a wealthy man. He was he was a liberal.
Yeah, and that's why Ehud Barak may have been meeting with him, because he's rich. He tries to rub elbows with rich and powerful people and be influential. And he's a Democrat.
Barak was playing with the kids, too. Why meet 12 times with Epstein?
I disavow that.
Epstein was involved in the Israeli government.
I disclaim that.
Well, I don't care. I'm sorry, then. What do you want me to say? I'm just telling you, they met. I suspect
what I'm telling
you meet with a man.
The reason that I'm fighting you a little bit on this is because you are speculating and making claims about people like Ehud Barak, who may be evil for being a liberal foreigner.
So you don't want to believe me that he met with Epstein about a dozen
I
times?
could believe that he met with Epstein, but I'm not going to start to say, oh, maybe he played with kids. That's not.
I didn't say that he did. It's possible.
Right, but why even say that?
Because we know what Epstein was. I mean, you're playing dumb here. You sound like
I'm not just playing dumb. I am dumb.
Criticize.
I'm not playing.
You're playing ignorant.
Mark. I'm not playing ignorant. I'm not playing dumb. I am ignorant. I am dumb. And the reason I say that is because I don't know. And there's no way of knowing what the Ehud Barak did or didn't do. And I don't think that it's right to speculate and gossip that, oh, maybe Ehud Barak was, because we don't have proof that he wasn't. There are people who are saying until...
That's the reason we don't have the proof.
Right.
Is because you people, not when I say you people, I'm talking about the defenders.
Right.
Guy.
But I have no power, even if I, with all of my might...
Take some evidence. We have victims.
Yeah.
Okay?
Purportedly.
Well, no, I've seen them. They're adults now, and they're women who have shown their faces that were victims. They were minors when they were victimized.
Do you have a better victim than Virginia Giuffre? Because I didn't like her. I wish her well, but I was not pleased with her performance.
Well, let them have their day in court. I mean, if you don't want to believe them, that's one thing.
But they have had their day in court. She had many days in court. She got major money.
Well, I don't mean her, only just her. There are other victims.
Purported victims.
Let's have it all come out. I don't trust the Democrats if they get their way, which they probably won't, to open an investigation into this. I wouldn't trust them to tell the truth. That's the problem.
Right.
But if you got it through a judge who I hate tyrant judges. But if you got a judge to open these files and just show them to the world, I think there's nobody that would be hurt except the guilty.
I have a super chat from somebody for you, Mark. Lin Yan Chin states, tell Mark he isn't the Punisher, that Punisher is a superhero who would punish criminals. But you're an old man, so you can't take out the perverts even if their names are made public. Punisher himself can't break past their security to deliver justice. Have him calm down and go be a detective if he must, says Lin Yan Chin.
Well, first, I'm not trying to punish anybody.
Nice.
I just want them brought to justice.
Right, but
I'm not going out there saying I want to execute these people personally.
Right, of course.
I just want them brought to justice.
But isn't that true? Because all these people are talking about, oh, we want accountability. And these people have no power to give accountability even if they knew about this stuff. They would just get madder because they wouldn't be satisfied with the level of accountability that's given. Anyway.
Okay, so I take it you don't want any further investigation into this.
Only if Trump wants it, then I want it. I trust Trump.
That's blind support. I like Trump too. But
it's not totally blind support.
Whatever her name is,
if
Trump agrees to pardon her and she reveals this list, what are you going to say?
That I don't trust the list or something. I don't know. I don't know what I'll say. I'll have to see when I get there.
You're going to die on this hill.
No, I'm going to live on this hill.
Perverts. The hill of siding with.
I'm living on this hill for our greatest president, Trump.
Their names revealed. Pardon?
Our greatest president, Trump, has been pretty consistent and measured in his response to this from the first days of talking about it. You know, he's called this guy a creep, so he's not defending Epstein.
Then why is half of MAGA mad at him about it? I'm mad at him, but I'm not.
Because they're
I'm not
excitable.
leaving MAGA, but
right.
I think this is the one black spot on Trump's presidency.
Well, I trust him because
Ronald Reagan, his black spot was amnesty for 3 million invaders. This will be, unless it's resolved, will be a black spot on President Trump.
Well,
now,
if this is a black spot, it's a very small black spot compared to amnesty.
Well, I agree there.
Yeah.
But half of MAGA wants those files revealed.
Nice.
Half of MAGA does.
Well, I want to remain dumb and ignorant because I'd rather not know what the dirty dealings done dirt cheap.
Then don't look. Don't watch. Forget
Nice.
it. I mean, just blind yourself, but don't keep us blind because of your own.
I'm going to personally stick all of my supporters and listeners in the eyes. No, I'm kidding around.
No, I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, I said I was going to stick you guys in the eyes with my 2 fingers like the Three Stooges so that you can't see.
Yeah, I mean, that's your choice. If you don't want to read the file, I just believe for it should be revealed because we should know who was involved with this criminal Epstein. And there's enough out there to.
I don't think that Trump is owned by the Jews like you guys think, or by Israel. I think he supports them, and I don't know if Israel is really even involved in this Epstein thing. But overall, I have no reason to distrust Trump on.
Well, then why does Ben Shapiro say you're anti-Semitic if you want to keep on with investigating Epstein?
Because there's conspiracy theories, and those conspiracy theories may be true or they may not be true about the Jews being involved in stuff.
Okay, so you're anti-Semitic if you want to investigate further.
I don't agree with Ben on that. It's whatever. But I do know that there are many Jew haters in my chat, or blamers, or critics, if you will, in my chat who think that this Epstein thing is closely connected with Mossad and Israel. And I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't.
Well, what if it is?
Then we are keeping the privacy for the sake of our greatest ally.
Oh man, that's surrender. That's surrender, man.
Whatever, man.
You as a puppet. You're not a real conservative. That's a kosher conservative.
Yeah.
The real conservatives are the guys and women that were at the TPUSA convention over the weekend. The 7,000 that demanded to see the files against their own boss, Kirk. But that's why I think Charlie Kirk probably got a phone call. Hey, lay off.
But have you noticed that these people are going crazy over it?
Well, it's justified.
No, it's not justified to go crazy. You can understand it. I can understand it, but it's not justified to go crazy.
Why? I mean, Epstein himself, wasn't he a convicted pedophile?
Something to that effect. It was an underage thing that was not right that he allegedly did.
No, I mean,
or convictedly did, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if it was convicted or alleged or a lawsuit or what.
No, he was in prison, remember? Just like Maxwell.
No, that was jail.
Or wife,
that was jail. That's he was facing new charges.
Okay.
Yeah.
But she's currently in custody. And so was when he died, Epstein died in jail. So they were, at least Epstein
Rest in peace.
was convicted. There wasn't a question on that. You can't question that. I know you want to. I know you want to say no.
I just like to cover my rear because I don't keep up with this stuff, and so I don't know what the truth is or what the facts are.
Well, I'm educating Mr. Hake.
A little bit, but you're also saying stuff that you're interpreting of what happened, and the interpretation may be off.
Well, the only reason we can't say anything with any certainty is because they won't release the file. It's as simple as that.
But the files are not going to tell you the whole truth either, I bet.
Well, they'll probably be redacted. They may have been destroyed already. And that'll be a real tragedy.
Think of it. If Epstein's business was blackmail, do you expect a blackmailer to keep honest records, or would he put in some lies to smear the people whom he's blackmailing?
Well, let's open the files and figure it out.
Interesting. I get your point, Mark. Appreciate talking with you.
Hey, you're great, Hake. I love you. I don't care. This issue won't divide us.
Nice.
But it does divide MAGA.
Indeed.
And any honest person looking at this should want to know who was there and what happened. And that's all I got.
Thank you, man.
Today.
Great hearing from you.
Hake. Have a good one.
You too. A few more super chats. I won't show them to you just for the sake of time. Chris bought a coffee. Mark. Oh, sorry, Chris. He says, Mark, do you really want to dwell on the Epstein thing? Maybe everyone is moving away from it because Trump has a huge agenda and limited time. Get over it, bro. Fair. I think that's totally fair, Chris. That's partly my take. Yeah, Mum says 80085. I disavow. He did it again with a very generous tip over on Streamlabs. Thank you, as always. Yeah, Mum. Very nice. Very cool. What's up, guys? Okay, hold on. Let me. I feel like I might have screenshot some things. Arga Lunas checked me out at the beginning of my stream on BitChute. Did you know? I mentioned that. Coffee Talk with. He was like, Coffee Talk with Sandra over on pilled.net gifted. Hey, thank you for the raid. Neo. Neyyo over on Pilled. I don't know if that was on purpose or on accident. Thank you, sir. Or ma'am. Coffee Talk with Sandra gifted the cookie over on Pilled.net. What's up, guys and gals? I was on Coffee Talk with Sandra's show about a week ago. TheHakeReport.com/appearances. Super cool. Let me double check you guys over on the Rumble crew. Some people were mad. Lord of the Pies seemed like he was calling me a PDF defender, and more other people too. What's up, Zenny? Is Zenny still here? Anyway. Sweet. Thank you guys for the more supers. That's kind. I have less than 10 minutes, so let's get to Alan in Michigan on the line here. Alan, thank you for calling. Happy White History Month to you. What's up?
And happy White History Month to you.
Thank you, man.
Mark always gets me going. He was great yesterday, but I have some disagreements. But I really wanted to cover this flat Earth thing, and I have to apologize. I was the one, a couple months ago, who called in and gave one Bible verse defending a globe Earth.
Nice. Based.
I rescind that.
Whoa.
Now, I'm not saying that I am for flat Earth. but I'm putting a huge question mark on this whole business. And it, again, the old Bible thumper comes in. What does the Bible say? What are the implications of all this? If the earth is flat or if it is a ball. Okay. First of all, I looked at a verse actually in Psalms, and it says, 115, verse 16, even the heavens are the Lord's, but the earth hath he given to the children of men. Now that's telling me, well, hold it. That means the earth is given under the authority and responsibility of men, but you don't have anything to do with the heavens. And the ancient religion of Mesopotamia, and I had called on this before, these stepped pyramids, the ziggurats with the blue temple at the top, where I'm not going to mention what goes on up there, is nothing but a effort. We shall ascend into heaven, and we shall be like God.
So the ziggurats were the Tower of Babel. Same idea, same thing.
Yes. The one in happened to be to the the moon goddess, but they would worship these different planets. And the thing is, if of course I did make a mention that I believe that the space program, the Blue Origin space program, is a duplication of and revival of this religious system. And what does it worship? It worships the heavens. And what's in the heavens? The sun. Okay.
Yeah.
Switch over to the book of Ezekiel. Ezekiel is taken by God in a vision to see the corruptions and abominations that Israel was doing in the temple. And he says, dig in the wall and you'll see these things. And, I saw all these images. And God says, oh, you want to see worse than that? You want to see greater abominations? He goes through. It's like one after the other after the other. But the final one, interestingly enough, he says there were 20 men and they were worshiping the sun in the east. And I said, yeah, this is helio worship.
Yeah.
That the sun is the center of the universe. If the flat earth theory is correct, the sun is not the center. The earth is the center.
Mm-hmm.
And truly everything revolves around the earth because earth has a special purpose. Again, I'm just putting out questions out there, asking about it. I just started studying this stuff, and it's very, very interesting. There are a lot of other verses that talk about sun worship and the worship of the planets and the worship of man. So I just wanted to leave it there. And thanks for taking my call. I know you haven't got much time.
What if?
And
let me respond to a little bit. What if neither the sun nor the earth is the center of the universe?
I never thought about that, but I'll have to, consider that.
Yeah.
Because
the space believers, of which I am one, are because there are space deniers, of course. They say that it's ether. They claim, no, the earth is the center. We're special. God made us special. He made us the center of the universe, which that's egotistical, I think. And some people say the sun is the center of the solar system or whatever. But the sun is not the center of the universe, really. I think that the sun is just another star amongst many stars in the universe. And it's all physical stuff anyway. And the physical center doesn't really matter. It's God is what matters, right?
Right, the spiritual. Spiritual.
So people are getting all caught up on the physical, and they're ignoring the spiritual.
Right, and that seems to be the tendency of men. We want to make physical idols.
Yep.
And, of course, we could make an idol of any planet, the sun, the moon, the stars.
You can make an idol out of your ideas about Epstein, about the flat earth, about the beautiful ball earth, which is obviously true. It's definitely spinning. and it's a globe, and it's hurtling through space. But you can make an idol even out of the facts and out of the quote unquote truth.
That's
and
true.
You're just caught up in your knowledge and head.
Right.
Yeah.
I would only add one more thing because I know you haven't got much time.
Yeah.
The space program. I remember when I called one time, you had even kind of agreed that, when I saw Kennedy said we're going to go to the moon, I said, what do you want to go to the moon for? That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And you kind of questioned it too.
Uh-huh.
And of course, you were considerably younger. You're about half my age.
Right.
In any case, I'm thinking, let's take a look. First of all, how did the space program begin? I'm old enough to remember this stuff. You got a bunch of Nazis from Germany coming over here and starting NASA, which is not part of the government. It's funded by the government, but it's a separate thing.
Okay.
A bunch of Nazis. Now, the Nazis were not Christians. They had the Thule Society and the Vril Society, and they were into this helio worship and this weird Zoroastrian, semi-Persian type stuff.
Uh-huh.
That higher ups. I'm not talking about the people of Germany. It's the higher ups, Himmler and Hitler and all these other people. So what happens? They come over here and they start this NASA program. $240 billion spent. And I thought, that kind of sounds familiar. We spend a lot. Did you know the ziggurats and their temple priests and everything took up about 11% of the gross national product of the particular city that they were in. That was they calculated this.
Wow.
I said, yeah, this is nothing but, as one of your callers said, and I agreed with him, a money laundering scheme built on a false religion that's trying to go up to heavens, which God is not going to allow. And, of course, I mentioned my uncle who had, 50 years ago got me questioning, did we really go to the moon?
Yeah.
Yeah, is this all fake? And I thought, no, couldn't be. Oh, yes, it could. You got thousands and thousands of people dependent on this. And a lot of them don't know that it's all a fake. And yet it's a tremendous drain on the natural resources.
Yeah, I got you, man. I got your
you
point.
Gotta go.
I got to keep it
you
going.
Gotta go.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thanks for taking my call.
Of course. Take care. Bye. Quick super chat from Cesar or Caesar, who says, straight up, man, that is a nice A beat that, hold on. That you played yesterday and today. We got Hake on AI 1s and 2s over here. That caller from yesterday, I think his name was Bobby. Might have been Bobby. Don't remember. He, was talking about hurting yourself when you hurt others, was on some deep, Anchor Baby says this word so I can too, ish. I was more surprised that you let me finish. Thanks for that, Hake. Right on, man. As far as the Epstein list goes, why is anyone still surprised at how our government moves? Shrugging emoji. People need to get over it. Just need to get over it. Need to just get over it, he says, and accept that we are never going to get it. Great report yesterday and today as well, man. Thank you, sir. And with that, I had hoped to get to Jaime in Minnesota, who wanted to talk about Rob's flat Earth thing, and the rest of the callers and other super chats, and your regular snake pit chats. Another PDF defender like Hake, says Dr. Z-Rock. Sad way to live. But alas, we're in the final minute of the Hake report, and so this song has gone to bed, and so must I. I hate to go and leave this pretty sight. Goodbye. So long, farewell, adieu, 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 adieu to you and you and you. Isn't this a vibe? Goodbye, guys. Peace in the Middle East, or at least in your hearts. Maybe. Take care.